This sort of thing is that freezes up the spirit and makes man and woman lonely hermits in the very midst of teeming hives of human life, society, and effort. It is a terrible thing to be compelled to eat your own heart, to be forced to consume oneself, to hear the harsh, brutal, and unfeeling tone, when one should listen to the dulcet notes of generous affections. For they freeze and chill the spirit, and warp the very ligaments of the soul. These sad things must be atoned. The vicarious sacrifice must be self-made by doers thereof, persons who unthinkingly tear down and wreck their fellows, every soul of whom which might be builded up, made strong for the right, and emulous of great and good and noble thoughts and deeds which God human children have ever done, and all by kindness, open-hearted conduct, and friendly cheer. Heaven! How much misery and crime might be stayed by one kind and loving world! How many are this day wading through perdition, as they tread the pavements of the world's broad streets, and all for want of one kind word, wrote Milton. Devil with devils damned, firm concord hold, men only disagree. There is much pith in this couplet, which is far from being all poetry. That is, if a judgment must be predicated upon what the worlds have witnessed of warfare, robbery, slaughter, and rapine all along the track of ages. Earth is, then, something worse than hell itself. It ought to be better, for hell cannot be purged from the middle state, become pure, until earth is purified, and daily delegations sent across the dark river be a better, purer, and nobler mold than now. I remember to have dearly loved the Apostles' Creed, especially my own rendering hereof. I believe in the Holy Ghost, the Holy Church, the forgiveness of sins, the resurrection, the communion of saints, the life everlasting. Glorious creed of glorious fishermen, repeated daily by millions. But do these millions really believe in the words so freely spoken? Go ask their conduct in the world's busy marketplaces, where human bodies and human souls are so many counters in a scale. Not Negro bodies and souls, but those of lordly bankers and money guards, magnates, who serve as waiters in Moloch's temples on the foreshores of two great seas. Pity it is that people do not believe their own religious creeds, for if they did, there would be fewer lonely ones on either side of the grave. Sung a poet, quite as good, if not so great, as Milton. If men cared less for wealth and fame, and less for battlefields of glory, if writ in human hearts a name seemed better than the song or story, if men, instead of nursing pride, would learn to hate it and abhor it, if men relied on love to guide, the world would be better for it. If men dealt less in stocks and lands, and more in bonds and deeds of fraternal, if love's work had more willing hands to link this world to the supernal, if men stored up love's oil and wine, and on bruised human hearts would pour it, if yours and mine would once combine, the world would be better for it. If more would act the play of life, the fewer spoil it by rehearsal, if bigotry would sheath its knife, till good became more universal, if custom, gray with ages grown, had fewer blind men to adore it, if talent shone in truth alone, the world would be better for it. If men were wise in little things, affecting less in all their dealings, if hearts had fewer rusted strings to violate their kindly feelings, if men, when wrong beats down the right, would strike together to restore it, the right made right in every fight, the world would be better for it. Aye, that it would and shall, brave lover of thy race, when more shall live the spirit thou hast breathed. But faith is not yet dead, Hope still lives in human hearts. Charity is beginning to be a power in the world, and these three, blessed three, will yet work out the world's salvation. Strong hands, clear intellects, willing minds are all that is needed to develop a truly human individuality, a thing of the future. And then a man and a woman will pass for the self-displayed value, the intrinsic worth manifested by action. It is not I they hate and ill-use. It is fictitious personality they have given me. They will not take me as I am, but insist that I shall be themselves desired I should be. And in crushing, slaying, killing this phantom which they choose to attach to my name they are, alas, crushing, slaying, killing me. And the days when common sense shall reign, the diseases of the social body will be eradicated, and then the loneliness of the talent and genius will be exceptional to the rule, instead of reverse, as these lonesome latter years. If men could all but realize that every human groan echoes up through all the starry vaults, even to the eternal throne itself, they would not cause so many as they do, especially when they discover that every one of these groans must be expiated by the causer thereof. If men knew that every pang endured by a human being on earth sweeps like a whirlwind of agony along the telegraphic lines of infinite space, and that not a soul in God's vast domain must keep and feel the effects thereof the accordance with the great sympathia itself, the nervous system alike of God, nature, the human kind, they would heartily strive to lessen the amount and banish all anguish and producing cause from their midst. The human race, his mighty harp, touch one string rudely and all others vibrate, and the finer the chord, the more it responds to the shock. When Jesus groaned on Calvary, the pain of his body and soul was shared in every creature beneath God's infinite heaven. And the agony thrills still go sweeping through the world, and will until all mankind shall go its way and sin no more.